What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be going over the shotgun meta in Fortnite, because if you were unaware, there's been a lot of changes to the weapons in Fortnite recently, as well as just other things coming and going from the loot pool that I feel like kind of changes the effectiveness of some playstyles. If you guys do find this video helpful or informative, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and comment down below what your favorite shotgun has been in Fortnite after the most recent updates. And if you guys haven't been paying much attention to the updates, just to quickly go through them, the combat SMG was vaulted last week, which kind of makes some of the spammier shotguns a little bit better because you don't have the insane combat SMG to combine with something like the pump. The pump shotgun got reduced body damage, but its headshot damage and max damage remains the same, so it does less damage to the body, but if you hit only headshots, which most of you do if you're using the pump, it was unchanged mainly. The two-shot shotgun got a huge buff, which reduced the time between shots, and it makes the gun feel a lot more reliable and a lot more consistent and just like easy to use, or like seamless to use. It feels a lot better. And those changes changed the game a lot, because prior to those updates, I feel like the two-shot shotgun was far and away the worst shotgun, and there was just never a situation ever where I really wanted to use it. And now I think it's a pretty good shotgun in both game modes. For build mode, I still think the pump is the best shotgun. It just feels the best to build with and edit with, and like a lot of build fights, or a lot of fights in the build mode, kind of revolve around getting as much damage as you can in a very small window of time. You know, if you're in a build fight with somebody, you might have very small windows of time to be able to tag that person. If you want to make an edit play on somebody, you want to be able to get your damage in as fast as possible and then quickly make a reset, or who knows, they might be editing out of their box or whatever. But that is basically how I would describe the build mode. You need to get as much damage in as small of a window as time as possible, and that is why the pump shotgun has always been one of the best weapons in Fortnite, and pretty much whenever there is a pump shotgun, it is the meta shotgun in-game. So I don't think that's going to change too much in the build mode, but the two-shot shotgun is certainly more viable than it was before. Like I said, it was terrible before. I never wanted to use it. Now, if there's a two-shot in my inventory, it's not the end of the world to me at all, and there might be some situations where it's preferred, and maybe in a few weeks I'll end up liking it more, but it still just feels like not the best to edit with. Like, you have to make an edit play and then shoot, and the two shots do come out somewhat fast now, but you're still exposed for a longer period of time than you would be with something like the pump. And then the same goes if you're in a build fight with somebody. You know, if you have height and you're Tfue jumping on somebody, which is when you jump, shoot, and then place a floor under yourself to catch yourself, something like that works so much better with the pump. And I still have those instances where I try to shoot the two-shot, and then like I go to build right away, because that is what you do in build mode. You pretty much immediately build after shooting, and I end up only shooting one shot with the two-shot. So that still happens sometimes, and that kind of leads to some inconsistency. So I feel like most fights in the build mode, the pump is the way to go still, for me personally. If you like the two-shot, that's fine, and I feel like in some lobbies, if you don't have as many like really good players in your lobby, the two-shot can certainly be a good weapon. And then the same can be said of the auto. It's an insane gun. It's been really good for a while, but people have just kind of ignored it. One really funny thing is that like I've seen so many people wanting the tac shotgun back and saying that the tac is so much better than the auto, but they actually do the same damage now. The auto shotgun does as much damage as the tac shotgun did before it was vaulted. So they're very similar to being, or very close to being the same weapon, but people just have this perception that the auto is terrible. And it's still a really good gun, but I just feel like the range isn't that good, and that kind of makes it awkward to build with. And like I said, in those situations where you have height on somebody and you're shooting down, it doesn't seem to be quite as consistent as something like the pump would. And I really value that consistency, because you get very small windows of time to shoot at people in the build mode, like I've said several times. So I think the pump is the best shotgun in build mode. I might put the two-shot second, and then the auto is far behind it. But really, I'm not opposed to using either of them. Like, no matter what shotgun I get right now, as long as I get a shotgun, I'm pretty happy in the build mode. When it comes to zero build, however, I feel like pretty much everything is up in the air. I think you could argue for any of these shotguns being the best shotgun in the game. The auto shotgun, in a way, indirectly got buffed because we don't have the combat SMG in the game anymore. And if you're someone who's using the auto shotgun, odds are you kind of just stay on your shotgun in those close range fights. Whereas the pump player has to pump and then switch to the SMG and then back to the pump. And since people are using the Stinger SMG now, they're not getting as much damage out of their SMG. So in a way, that's an indirect buff to the auto shotgun, because you didn't really have to rely on SMG damage anyways. So the auto is really good for that, and I've really enjoyed using the auto. The two-shot is insane in zero build now. Like, a lot of pretty much any issue I have with the two-shot shotgun at this point in time pretty much revolves around building and editing, which you don't have to do in zero build. And the two-shot shotgun is a weird gun. For whatever reason, I feel like in build mode, I just don't get the most damage out of it consistently. But for whatever reason, the way fights play out in zero build, I feel like I'm always hitting people so hard with the two-shot shotgun. Like, way harder than I do in build mode. It's because I'm not building, because they're not building. I don't know what it is. Just people are much more exposed in zero build and typically exposed for longer periods of time. And I have been frying people with the two-shot shotgun in zero build. And everybody I know, like I've talked to several good players about the game somewhat regularly, like other streamers and friends of mine. Everybody I know who's a good player has been really liking the two-shot shotgun since the buff in zero build. So I definitely think it's a viable weapon. If you're someone who's been writing it off completely, the two-shot shotgun is insane in zero build. It's good in build mode too, but I feel like zero build is where the weapon really shines. And even before the buff, I felt like the two-shot was better in zero build than build, and that remains true. I think the gold one, if you hit a perfect shot to the head, can deal 120 damage. So if you shoot two shots of 120 damage, that's 240. Someone in zero build has max 250 health. So you can basically insta-kill somebody with the two-shot shotgun. And if you're playing a team game mode and everybody on your team is using the two-shot shotgun, you are going to just run through teams so quick. It's insane. I've been playing a lot of zero build arena recently, and we've kind of all been using the two-shot shotgun and just running through teams. So I would highly recommend using the two-shot shotgun. Your first impression of it was probably terrible because it wasn't very good at the start of the season. But try it again. I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's a much better gun than it was before. You still do have to use the SMG, though. I feel like a lot of people who still hate on the two-shot shotgun don't really understand it. I think it's best to think of the two-shot shotgun as a pump that shoots two shots and then you have to pump it. That's basically what it is. And just like the pump, you want to fill that pump time with SMG shots. So you want to like shoot your two shots, swap to the SMG. For the amount of time it takes to pump it, you need to like time that and get it down perfectly. That way you're using the SMG for as little time as possible, but still also just maximize the time you're throwing out damage, essentially. So you shoot your two shots, swap to your SMG, and then swap back to the two-shot shotgun. The mistake I see a lot of people making is they just try to sit on the two-shot shotgun like they would the auto shotgun, because it does kind of feel like a spammy shotgun. Like, I make the mistake myself sometimes where I think I'll just like continuously shoot it, but that's not the case. You want to shoot your two shots, swap to your SMG, swap back to your shotgun and shoot your two shots, swap back to your SMG, and just go back and forth just like you would with the pump. And the pump is still a really good gun in zero build. Like the body shot damage nerf, I don't think was very noticeable because you're probably going to be going for headshots with the pump anyways. You know, the people who use the pump were typically going to be the people who were more confident in their aim and had like decent aim. So they were going to be able to go for headshots and get those good tags consistently. So reducing the body damage, I don't think was that big of a deal. For me, I was either going to hit them to the head or I was going to miss. Those were like kind of the two situations I dealt with the pump shotgun. I very rarely like went for a body shot intentionally unless I knew the person was incredibly weak. And I feel like the nerf wouldn't really change that situation because if the person is really weak, they're really weak. And a few damage points, I think it was like 12 damage they reduced the body shot of the pump by. Not going to make the biggest difference. So all the shotguns are good in both game modes. Like I said earlier in build mode, I'm not really too bent out of shape regardless of which shotgun I gotta use, and I feel like zero build is the same way, but even more so. I feel like you could make a case for any of these shotguns being the best shotgun in zero build. My personal pick is the two-shot shotgun, but I don't really like, if someone said they liked the pump or they think the auto is the best, I wouldn't really disagree with them. I think it's gonna mainly just come down to like personal preference and playstyle, which shotgun is the best for you. But recently, I've been thinking that the two-shot shotgun is the best, regardless of rarity, too. Even if you have, like, a white two-shot shotgun, it hits really hard. I think it's, like, 69 on both body shots with the white one. Maybe that's what the gold does. Either way, you're probably going to be hitting 50-plus on each shot with the two-shot shotgun. So you're going to be guaranteed 100 damage, basically. And both of the shots come out so fast now, so it's unlikely you would only hit, like, one shot or hit good on one shot and not good on the other. They come out so fast that if you have good aim for one, both the shots are going to hit hard, and you're probably going to be able to get 100 plus damage out of your shotgun pretty consistently. Swap to your SMG, get a few shots on them, and then swap back to your shotgun for the remaining 100 damage to finish them. So that's how I've been playing recently in zero builds, and that's what I've found the most success with. And talking to other streamers and other players who are good at the game, seems like the two-shot is certainly the way to go in zero build, but if you like one of the other options, not a bad thing. Let me know in the comments below which shotgun you prefer. I think these past few updates have been really good. I think this season has progressively gotten better over time, and depending on how good the summer update is next week, I think we're in like a really good spot for Fortnite, and the meta is just so good right now. Like I said, Pretty much the only gun in the game I don't want to get is the Charge SMG. Any other gun that I get off spawn, I am like fine to use. And even the Charge SMG does have its situation. But comment down below, let me know what shotgun you think is best. If you did learn something from this video or find it helpful, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you would like to see more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.